Ladies and gents, this is seriously a game-changing football tactic right here. You're not going to want to miss it. Or at least so the Steam Workshop tactic says. This is called the Iron Onslaught, and there actually is some good information in here. Basically, it says, introducing the game-changing football tactic that will revolutionize the way you play the beautiful game, the Iron Onslaught. Developed over 4 seasons, this tactic is a vertical possession-based system that will keep the ball at your feet and help you win it back quickly using a trigger press. Defensively, the Iron Onslaught uses a 4-1-4-1 formation, but when it's time to go in the offensive, the formation seamlessly shifts to a 3-2-4-1. So there is more information. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he basically took Heidenheim in the Bundesliga 2 and brought him into the Bundesliga 1, into European spots, and has apparently been doing very well. So in just a minute, we're going to check out what this has done for our 3 teams. But again, this tactic uses nothing for me. It's a straight sim. I've done no changes to this whatsoever. Everything is done on the back end and as the sim process, the vacation process continues. So keep that in mind when you see what happens with our 3 teams compared to how the maker has said he has taken a Bundesliga 2 team close to the top, if not already. But the tactic itself is a custom style, positive mentality, a sweeper keeper in support, 2 ball-playing defenders in defend, complete winbacks on both the left and the right in support, a halfback in defend, Mazzalas in support on both sides, 2 shadow strikers, which I've seen a fair bit now and again, and both in attack, and then an advanced forward in attack up front. In possession, fairly wide attacking width, approach play is pass into space, focus played through the middle and play out of the defense, whip crosses, work the ball into the box. In transition, counter press, counter, slow pace down, distribute to the center backs and roll it out. And then out of possession, a mid-block line of engagement, a higher defensive line. Trigger press much more often, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, trap outside, and stop the crosses. But now, how did this do with our 3 teams? Well, unfortunately, not nearly as well as Heidenheim, but you have Tottenham, Newcastle, and Wolves all very close together, 5th, 6th, and 8th. And I have to say, point tallies, they're pretty close to average. I mean, Tottenham average about 65 or thereabouts. Newcastle at 62, definitely. Wolves 59, definitely, somewhere up there around their average. Maybe the higher side of average. I don't know, but I still think overall, as a sim-based tactic, this definitely just didn't do anything more than average for all 3 teams. As you can see from the Tottenham schedule, fairly nice August with 1 loss to Manchester City, an average September. An okay October. I mean, you got some wins here and there. You're continuing on in everything, it looks like. Champions League Group C, Porto, 1-3 loss, so that's kind of hurts. But after the World Cup happens, fantastic run. EFL Cup semifinal first leg and EFL Cup semifinal second leg to Liverpool. You just get crushed, 1-7 on aggregate. Champions League, Real Madrid and Real Madrid. You lose both there. And then the FA Cup quarterfinal against Arsenal. The second half of the season, from this Liverpool point down, not very good. Newcastle, again, they cannot get past Liverpool to the start of the season, 1-7. But another 0-2 against Everton, but a fantastic run here all the way through September into October. A couple losses here and there, but still continuing on, 0-5 to Manchester United. Second half of the season, you start off pretty bad. I mean, but you still continue on in the cups. You do have a nice run here. FA Cup 4th round, though. Burnley, you're out. You do continue on against Manchester City, though. A fantastic EFL Cup 2nd round right there. But Cup final, 0-2 against Liverpool is where you lose it. You continue on a fantastic march, but then you kind of boot it in April. You have a nice win against Brighton. You finish out somewhat strong-ish, I guess. Wolves, 2-3 loss, though, to the end of the season. Not great. Wolves, August, not great. EFL Cup round, you're still going on. Have a fantastic September. Pretty good October with a couple of losses. Out in the EFL Cup 3rd round to Everton, though. You continue on. You have 1 friendly against Real Betis. Wow. But FA Cup tie against QPR. You do win in the 3rd round replay. But then FA Cup 4th round draw against Norwich. Win against Norwich in the replay. Quarterfinals is where you bow out to none other than Liverpool. 3-5 FA Cup quarterfinals. That one hurts. But overall, just an average season. Tottenham transfers, nothing we haven't seen before. Shutala, we've seen Dominguez, Weston, or Arana, Fernando, and Guy all in there. And then the same outs, 29.5 million. Oliver skipped, though, to West Ham. Newcastle, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Donny van de Beek we've seen before. Oscar Aranda, I think we've seen before. And Ronnie Edwards from Petersburg, 3.5. And then outs, you got Mark Gillespie and Diallo. Wolves bringing in Andre Horta from Braga, 11 million. Maybe we've seen him once or twice, but really not all that often. Adama Traore to West Ham for 11.75. And yeah, everyone else, Limbakisa, Costa, Daniel Podence, we've seen before. Data hub-wise, very good in attack for Tottenham. Shaky defensively, as you can see. We've definitely seen some tactics where Tottenham were a lot more dominant, but overall, this isn't too bad. Kind of mid-range. I mean, you kind of where you expect them to be, where they ended up. Newcastle's data hub, same, good in attack, shaky in defense, as you can see. Some nice numbers, goals per game were fantastic. A couple of definitely good numbers in the attacking side, definitely not so much in the defending side. Wolves, no real difference in terms of shaky in defense, good in attack, a lot less numbers in attack, but still somewhat of the same shape. Team defending a little bit different compared to the Newcastle and Tottenham, but still you're getting Premier League average. You really could get a little bit better if you want to bring it up to in the table at least a little bit. Squad-wise, as always, remember just to pause it where you want to see your players. Tottenham-wise, doing fairly well. Newcastle looking actually a little bit better than Tottenham in terms of the greens. Wolves actually not looking too bad overall itself. Sarabia with a 7.35. 7.90 in the last 5. Wow. And then Premier League stats, you can see most goals, Liverpool and Man City, but Newcastle, Tottenham, and Wolves all up there. 73 down to Tottenham 63. That's kind of interesting compared to how they ended up in the table. A few shots against Wolves and Tottenham, kind of doing the defensive pieces, which shaky still, but most possession, Tottenham, Wolves, and Newcastle all up there. 60. That's not too bad compared to what we've seen before. Dribbles made, nobody. Fewest conceded, Wolves with 50. Nobody in the most shutouts. Tackles won, Newcastle and Tottenham. Best pass completion, Tottenham and Wolves. Most shots for all three teams, and then most points per game, all three up there, and kind of in the exact same spots, 5, 6, and 8. Player overview: Jimenez, Wilson, and Isaac all in the tops for most goals. Holland with 27, though. What do you expect? Most assists: Sarabia, Kulusevski, and Almiron all in there. 11 to what is that? All 11s. There you go. Most player of the match awards: Kulusevski, Almiron, Sarabia, and Wilson. 4 and 6. 7. Wow, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Best pass completion, Jose Sa. I mean, it's always the goalkeepers. Hugo Lloris. Most dribbles made, nobody. Fewest conceded, Jose Sa with 50. Okay. No, most shutouts, nobody. Fewest tackles, Almiron with 102, or most tackles won, I should say. Moises Caicedo, though, 121. Wow. If you're not looking at Caicedo anyway in scouting, you might want to reevaluate your scouts there. But most key passes, Trippier and Porro in there. Sarabia not anywhere on the list. Most shots, Cunha and Jimenez. And as we finish out, top goal scorer is Son with 21 for Tottenham. Kulusevski, 7.22. Kulusevski also with 17 assists and 7 player of the match awards. Newcastle, Callum Wilson is your top goal scorer with 20. Almiron with 7.25, not too bad. 14 assists and 6 player of the match awards. I'm sensing a trend. It's amazing. Jimenez with 21 goals, amazing in that respect alone. But again, the same with Tottenham, the same with Newcastle. Highest average rating, 7.35 for Sarabia. Most assists with 12 with Sarabia. And most player of the match awards with Sarabia as well. 4 player of the match awards. It seems odd. You got your top goal scorer, and then the next 3 are all the same dude. So, but anyway, that is the tactic right there. I would say bang on average for this one. Again, for the sim, I'm sure that your own touches can at least bring, I mean, Tottenham at 65 could probably easily pit Manchester United to 4th place. Getting to 78, that's a completely different story. But, you know, keep your players happy, keep your players active, and on the pitch. Who knows? The sky's the limit. But that is it for me. I am Sefian FM for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.